story stars and hometown sound. Country evolution's where it's found.
So I was lucky enough to be asked to participate in the first workshop of this musical, which a workshop is when they're working out the script and the songs, and they're sort of building the show from the ground up. And so I got asked to be a part of the first workshop, which again has no guarantee of being involved in the project later on down the road. And I continued to do each workshop, which again, it almost felt like a year-long audition, to be honest, because we'd finish a workshop and then I would wait to find out if I was going to be doing the next workshop and so on and so forth. And then I found out in the spring, I got my official offer that they were asking me to, originate the role in Nashville out here for the world premiere. And it has just been a dream come true, start to finish. I mean, I started sobbing, called my parents. I was just so excited, really, to be able to bring this role to life and bring Dolly to life here in Nashville. It's been, a year of sort of, she says in the show, always choose your faith over fear, but a lot of just trusting that if it was meant for me, it wouldn't pass me by. And so I just kept working on it, even without a guarantee or knowing if it would ultimately end up happening. But I think in my head, it was also, if I try to live a little more like Dolly Parton every single day, I only win and benefit from that. I think we could all benefit from that, to be honest. So to find out that I was actually going to get to do this and put the costumes on and be on stage and bring it to audiences was just a total dream come true, and really felt like an accumulation of a year of hard work towards this goal. So we've got 3 Dollys because, it's hard enough to try and be the Dolly Parton. So 3 of us are giving it a go. But there's Quinn Titcomb, who plays Little Dolly. She is absolutely spectacular. That little girl has more talent in her pinky toe than I can even express. And if she's already playing Dolly Parton at 12 years old, the world's her oyster. But she plays Little Dolly growing up in Locust Ridge and kind of telling you the story of her family and, growing up and putting on performances for the chickens and things like that. And then I take over when she heads to Nashville and starts her career and, has her dream and determination and gets on the Porter Wagoner show. So that is really just the start of Dolly's rise, and it's such a fun time, especially being in Nashville, to be able to tell that part of her story. And then Katie Rose Clark plays the older Dolly, and that's when Dolly heads to Hollywood and becomes the Dolly Parton we know and love today. And Katie Rose Clark is absolutely spectacular. We've been friends for a long time, and so to get to share this with her, I couldn't do it without her, and I'm obsessed with her. I love her so much, and she's so fantastic in this show. So it's really an honor to be able to have Team Dolly bringing her to life. So much. I've been living in Dollyland for a year now. Definitely a lot of listening to her songs and her voice. Her voice is so incredible and the most beautiful thing in the world. So I wanted to be able to fit my voice into her voice and her voice into mine so that it rang true and felt honest and, didn't feel like an impersonation, but rather an honest essence of Dolly. So lots of vocal preparation for this because her voice is so specific. I also yodel in the show, so I took some yodeling lessons, and now I absolutely adore yodeling. It's so fun. And I've also been taking guitar lessons all year. So a lot of preparation has gone into becoming Dolly Parton, and accent coaching and all of the above. But I just really wanted to give it my all and do as much as humanly possible to bring her to life in the most accurate way. So I think the greatest challenge is just that she is so iconic, and we all love her so much. And I just really want to do her justice and be able to tell her story the best I can in the most honest way. And so that takes a level of kind of like, I just needed her to be in my bones, if that makes sense, where it could feel true and real coming from me, but also be reminiscent of Dolly. I want people to feel like I'm Dolly up there, even though those are the biggest heels to fill. Just even if I have 1 ounce of that it translates. So maybe it's just the pressure of portraying someone so iconic, but yeah, I've absolutely loved it, and the audiences have been so receptive and so responsive and supportive, and Dolly has been so supportive. So I'm so thankful to her for that. I mean, just her work ethic is unparalleled. She is there all day, every day for rehearsals, constantly rewriting things, adding things in, taking things out, and she truly is the kindest human being on the planet. I mean, she makes every single person that she encounters feel seen and feel special, and there is no ego involved. It's kind of wild when I step back and think about it. She's one of the biggest stars on planet Earth, and yet when you're in a room with her, you feel like you're the biggest star, and she wants to know everything about you, and it's genuine and it's honest, and she works so hard. So I think maybe it's that. It's almost just that she's better than what you'd even think she is. And I know that the whole world knows how great she is already, but she's even more than that. So I don't know how she's real, to be honest. Every person deserves to be seen, right? And she has this quote that's find out who you are and do it on purpose. She has such a strong inner compass of who she is and what she wants to achieve, and she's so determined, and she doesn't see failure as failure, right? She's like, you're learning and you're growing, and she doesn't complain about anything. She's sort of like, this is the path that's been chosen for me, and how lucky am I and how grateful am I that I've been blessed with this life and to be able to share this gift and tell stories and write songs. And yeah, I think it's that every person is worthy, and we should all see each other for who we are and accept each other and love each other. She's such a hoot. She says the funniest things, just, interject into conversations. The other day I was in my dressing room and I was doing Lion King. I was like, Na Savenya, Dolly musical. And I just see her pop her head in and she's like, are you speaking in tongues in there? So she's always around, kind of having these little jokes, and she makes the mood lighter all the time and just brings so much humor to everything. It's been such a joyful room to be in. And I know with these types of things, it can be very high stress. I mean, it's a lot of work to put on a humongous musical in 6 weeks time, but there's just been nothing but pure joy and support, and we're all figuring it out together, and we feel like a team. So yeah, she's always cracking jokes. There's not a day that goes by that she's not cracking some joke. So it's when I'm younger Dolly. So it's a little more kid, but she says to her mom, she says, I want to go to heaven, Mama. I just don't want to look like hell when I get there. I just think that's such a good line, and the audience loses it every single night, because that's very Dolly. I mean, again, honor of a lifetime. I feel like I'm a broken record. I just keep saying that, but we all need a little more Dolly Parton in our lives, and this has been her big dream, is to have a Broadway musical. And so to be able to play her in this moment in time as she brings her dream to life is yeah, indescribable. I feel like the show is so beautiful. And it's about forgiveness and about love and about, again, finding out who you are and doing it on purpose and not letting anything get you down. Um, and she's telling a lot of intimate stories about her life. She's a very public person, but she's kept a lot of things very private. And in this musical, we get to see some of these relationships, like with Carl Dean and Judy Ogle and Porter Wagner, that you maybe haven't seen before or gotten such a close look at. And so to be able to hear these stories firsthand from her, she shares so freely and is so generous with her life and the lessons she's learned. I just think they're great lessons moving forward and great lessons for audiences to see. And I think people will leave feeling inspired and full of joy and love and light, because that's who Dolly Parton is. So yeah, you can't go wrong. We could all use more Dolly Parton. Just come see the show. It's fantastic, and it's really like Dolly has put her heart and soul. We all have put our heart and souls into it, and the audiences have just been so generous and kind here in Nashville. And yeah, it's really special. She wanted to do it here because she wanted to bring it to the people who have uplifted her first. And it's just a really special show, and I hope that everyone gets to come see it and learn more about Dolly and go out and make the world a better place.